Hey, welcome back to another episode of This Week at Skye. I'm Ash and I'm joined again by Phil. And we're in the office again.
Hello, Ashley.
Yay. How you doing today, Phil?
Good. Ashley Margaret, I'm good.
Oh,
how are
full
you?
name's back. Well, middle name. I'm good.
Great.
Don't know what I did to deserve the middle name.
I don't know. I like your middle name. It's very formal. And I know your mother watches. And so just bringing your full name this week.
Fair enough.
And to throw you off as well.
Yeah, fair enough. What'd you get up to last week?
Last week, what did I do last week? I went to a AIA roundtable. So we filmed really early last week so I could head off, which was good. There was a few dealer groups there, a few advisors there, just talking about how do we attract new people into the profession. And Alistair from Striver was there as well. So it was a roundtable run by Risk Info and yeah, just talking about kind of all the challenges about recruiting, hiring, growing new talent. And it was one of the interesting takeaways for me was even the big businesses like MBS Insurance, they're the biggest in our space. They were there, like the amount of new grads that they can take on and grow and develop is like 5 a year if they were fully set up. And so you think about as an industry, Alistair was looking at it and going, well, that's 5, great. We've got 250 in that Brimstone event that you attended. And so, yeah, we need to work out as an industry and a profession, how do we grow talent to be able to make it attractive? Because if there's, one position in every 100, uni students out there, then people aren't going to go to uni and do financial planning. So it was a good discussion. Yeah. How about you?
I'm
How was your
always
week?
likening the numbers to accounting. Granted, there's a lot more people studying accounting, but because that's where I started my working life, I was at a mid-tier firm and they were bringing on 5 graduates twice a year.
Do you know what the big firms are doing?
20.
20.
Around there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and there's 4 of those twice a year as well.
Yeah.
And that's just in like one very specific area. Like there's a lot of divisions.
Oh, because each department would bring in 20.
Different, yeah, so I'm just thinking from an audit side of things. So, yeah, those numbers are very tiny.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing is the profession doesn't have huge businesses. Like accounting has big firms that are global businesses.
Exactly.
But in financial advice, we don't have that. So it means that the opportunity for young people is harder. But I was talking about from our experience that you went to Brimstone and we hired Izzy, who you met there. But then we're trying to look for other people and we're finding it difficult to hire young grads who want to become advisors. And so
risk-focused advisors.
Yeah. So it was interesting, Alistair was like, well, there's not enough opportunity. And I was like, well, we're giving opportunity and we're finding it hard to find the right talent. So, don't know what we were just there talking about all the problems. We didn't have many solutions.
Maybe next time, more solutions. I went to a really interesting workshop that Ascender was running on Thursday. They were talking about all sorts of things, but one of the things they mentioned was that if you have a client who has recently set up, or in your advice you're recommending that they set up a new super fund, a lot of the super funds will offer default cover, but they also have this window of time that you can apply to increase the cover with minimal underwriting. That got me thinking about if we have clients that maybe are coming to us and they're declined cover, is there scope for us to be recommending either taking out a new super fund and then increasing to whatever the maximum is that they could do without underwriting? Yeah, it wasn't something that I'd considered before.
They're not even the insurer by the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
They just listed the top sort of who was offering the best.
Yeah, how good. Even I guess they were. I'm a little bit skeptical when I hear anything from an insurance company, but my skeptical hat initially went to these limited underwriting cost the insurance companies money, because if you're not underwriting properly, then the premiums go up. So I wonder if Ascender was like, get your clients in with these insurers so they become less sustainable. But maybe I'm being too skeptical.
I think I like to see the best. I think you're just being too skeptical.
Yeah, probably.
We got other banana bread reviews are out. It's out on the social media now. And so Seb won against Ruby's Sister's
Correct.
banana bread. And still no banana bread from Ruby.
Oh, well, and we had a bit of a scandal. The bananas got
bananas
stolen.
went missing.
Apparently, I don't know if Ruby took it and then made up this thing.
Ruby doesn't know either if that's what happened.
I think she took them, and then the bananas got stolen, and so she doesn't need to make banana bread. So I think it's this big ruse.
She's hoping she can just keep kicking the can down the road and we'll forget.
Yeah, and another fun fact. We were talking about it in the office. Potty and Ruby share a birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ruby with an E.
Ruby.
Share a birthday. And I was saying, I think we've got like 4 couples within the business who share a birthday. So me and Azaria share a birthday. And then Ash, as a true ex-accountant as you are and a psychopath, you decided to look at everyone's date of birth and work out how many birthday buddies do we have in our business.
Yeah, it's crazy. So there's 59 people on this list that work at Skye and 16 have a pairing. So that's 8 pairs of birthday buddies.
Yeah.
Crazy. 27% of people share their birthday in this company.
I wonder what it should be mathematically. Did you do that? It should be
Maximum 2. Like you're pushing it for 2.
Oh, wow. Really? You actually found that out?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Don't doubt.
Yeah, that's a fun fact about Skye. We've got 16 individuals who share a birthday, so 8 birthday buddies. Which is
it triggered the crazy astrology part of my brain where I was like, I wonder what sort of, and the data part of my brain, I was thinking, I wonder if we mapped out what it would look like based off of star signs.
Okay. You think we skew towards hiring certain star signs?
Well, if people keep coming up with the same birthdays, I'm wondering if there's a star sign correlation.
I'll be honest, I have no idea about star signs at all.
Look, neither.
I wouldn't have a clue what mine is. Everyone always asks me, I'm like, I don't know. This is my birthday. You tell me.
I know mine because people ask.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So, but curious.
Anyway, what have we been reading this week?
There's a few things that we're going to chat about. So first up, Australians for Mental Health have written an open letter to Jim Chalmers.
Who's that?
Treasurer.
Yeah, the federal treasurer.
Yeah. Treasurer. Oh, I can't say that word today. Calling for him to make some adjustments to mental health. So $1 billion of funding has been put into mental health this year, but they're saying that the cost of mental ill health to the economy is the equivalent of $220 billion every year, which they then also went on to do the math, comes to $8,800 per person. In the open letter, they're talking about...
Did they talk about how they got to that number? Like, is that like time off work, like cost and...
Not that I could see.
I guess it would be like all-encompassing.
Yeah. Probably productivity at work if, you're there but you're not able to work at your full capacity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in this letter, they do talk about how 2 in 5 young people are struggling with mental health. 43% will experience something over their lifetime, which that honestly sounds sort of low. But the main things that they're calling for is more of a national approach to mental health. It sounds like mental health is quite state-based. A lot of...
Well, health is often state-funded.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Make it a national problem so there's more targets and accountability. They say guarantee fair, timely access to treatment. So most people know someone who's gone through a mental health episode, needed to see a psychologist. The wait times can be very long. I had one client last week who was telling me her GP put her on a mental health plan even though she had no symptoms postpartum, just so that if something did happen, she was already a couple months
into the system.
Yeah. Which was crazy.
That is crazy. And also, we're not going to name that doctor because Medicare probably wouldn't be too happy about that, but that's okay.
Yes.
Let's leave that alone.
And then the other thing they're calling for is just more people in mental health workspace. Obviously, there's these long wait times because there's not enough people to service everyone who needs help.
It's so funny. I don't think any profession has enough people. Like, you think about the building industry, like, all like it's like there's a shortage of human beings in Australia. Like, let's just get more human beings over here and skill them up.
Yeah, all these people talking about the fear of their job being taken away by AI, but there's all of these industries that need more people. So
yeah.
reskill, I think we'll be okay.
Yes. All right,
The
what else?
other article we had is just talking about a surge in median advisor fees. Did you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, this piqued our interest because AR data, so advisor ratings, they do reports. They love doing heaps of reports. One of their reports was talking about the median advisor fee went from $3,960 to $4,668. And so that's an 18% increase in fees from advisor level. And this kind of is a really interesting discussion because at Skye, we get paid a commission from the insurance providers to set up policies, and we do charge a fee as well up front. And our fees are not even 10%, or depending on, for a couple, it's less than 10% of this medium fee. So, and, you know, we've talked about increasing our fees. You know, the cost of, you know, your salary goes up every year, so it costs us more to deliver the advice, unless you're happy to go into this pay and performance review without a pay increase expectation.
Look, I'll leave that to discuss with Trent, but definitely would prefer a pay increase.
Any donations are welcome here at Skye. So yeah, our costs go up, but it's just a matter of understanding, well, we've tried to limit the increase on our initial advice fee, and we keep on talking about it every 12 months. We bring it up with the advisors. And for us, you know, or for me as the leader, I think we want to continue to make advice accessible. We do one bit of advice, we do it amazingly well. We want to make sure we continue to make it accessible because I think about $4,500 for financial advice, it is expensive. And it is just continues to price out people out of advice. And advice is incredibly valuable. And, you know, holistic advice is incredibly valuable, but it is getting expensive, unfortunately.
If you think about it from an average wage perspective, I think the average Australian wage is $90,000. So that's, 5%, if my math is right, of your wage for 1 year's of advice fees.
Yeah. And now, you know, the government did make advice fees deductible. So, you know, but if you talk about your actual take-home pay.
Exactly.
Like, you know, $4,500 is just a lot of money. And so this is why, you know, at Skye, we do one thing well, and we price it, you know, accordingly. We you know, charge $330 for individuals and $495 for couples, because it's important to us to make sure we continue to serve the average everyday Australian. I just looked at our numbers the other day. Our average client age is 36 years old. So
it's climbing.
Yeah, it is climbing. It is going up like 2 years actually, or a year and a half. And so, yeah, it's important that we continue to service the, you know, people like you and me.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I can't speak for you, Ash, but I feel like, you know, I would struggle, and you know, I'm doing okay now, but I would struggle to pay that fee for holistic advice. And so I think that's why we're passionate about keeping our fees as it is. Yeah,
it'd be one of those sorts of things where if I had a large inheritance or something that came through, maybe that's when I'd consider it, but not right now. Yeah. And that's, I mean, did you read this article? Yeah. Is that an ongoing fee? I'm pretty sure it's the ongoing fee that's gone up by that much. So this isn't the initial fee that people are paying. It's an ongoing annualized fee. Again, we get paid a commission from the insurance provider, and so some clients are paying higher premiums, and we're getting paid a higher commission for those clients, and some paying it less. And so, you know, just like insurance, it's a pooled product where, you know, I pay heaps of money in claims, and some, you know, only some people are claiming on it. That's the way, you know, commissions kind of work, is our clients all get the same service level, whether they're paying, you know, $100, $200 in premiums, or whether they're paying, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. And then the next article we have is written by our very own Azaria.
Yes.
If you aren't following Azaria on LinkedIn, you're missing out. She is posting a few times a week at the moment.
Yeah, she's pumping it out.
She is my content inspiration. I say this, but still haven't posted anything ever. Maybe
that's
one day.
A good accountability is to say it on the recording
Exactly.
is because people are going to be expecting stuff now.
Exactly. No, I think she's incredible. I've looked up to her for too long and she knows about it. But yeah, she's been asked to write an article, and so she's talking about the relationship between people who are interested in FIRE, so financially independent, retire early.
Yeah, nailed it.
And insurance. because we have had clients in the past who have come to us and said, oh, look, I'm going to be retiring in a few years' time. I don't need to cover. I'll be okay. Long story short, they were not okay. But did you have a chance to read through Azaria's article?
I did read through it, and I was actually I was flicking through some stats about people who retire early because of ill health. Zurich did a cost of care paper, and I think it was like 15% of people, and this is like the average everyday Australian who's retiring at 65 or 67 or whatever age they choose to. A big portion of them are retiring early, and so, not even factoring the FIRE movement. Had a read through. I thought it was a good article talking about, hey, it is important to allocate some of your money towards making sure that your wealth goals don't get interrupted if something happens, if you can't work for a short time or a long time.
Yeah, because I speak to a lot of clients who talk about how, if XYZ happened, then they'd be okay to cut back on their income that they have available to them because they're living at XYZ sort of means, so it would be okay. I always ask them to think about, okay, but what about the goals that you'd have to cut back on? How would you want what are you comfortable with your retirement changing? These sorts of things. It's more than just, getting through that every day. What about if you do make it through to retirement age, say 60, 65, what would you want your quality of life to look like after that?
And it's also, you can think, it's not all or nothing. It's a matter of going like, okay, you are saving a huge percentage of your income. Great. For an injury within a year or two, maybe you're willing to take that risk and be much worse off financially. But the really long-term injuries or illnesses that I'm actually going to talk about a client experience this week, like that will have a significant impact on your wealth goals. Let's protect those things. So we can still save money on premiums. You don't need a 30-day waiting period on income protection for the full amount and, as much life and TBD as I have to cover yourself. There's heaps of levers that you can pull when it comes to insurance.
Do you know I often use you as an example in my advice meetings? People go, how much cover do I need? How much does the average person have? And I always say to them, look, these are our calculations. They're a starting point. Comes down to what you're comfortable with. Phil has way more than what our calculations would say he needs, so it's totally, up to you.
Yeah, and I did it in a recording the other day. I've got to increase my cover again. I keep forgetting about it. Coming back to, I just want to bring us back to you fangirling over Azaria. Can you just tell us while we're recording, what was your reaction when Azaria reached out to you about working at Skye?
I was stoked. I was like, I'm famous. How did you know me? This is crazy, because I had been following her since 2018 when she was recording a podcast with Glenn James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not just like complimenting a coworker. You
I'm
actually
a major
were a fan.
fangirl.
You were a fangirl.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad I got to embarrass you there.
Thank you. Before I embarrass myself too much, let's chat about some client stories.
Let's go.
So we're working with a client this week who's going through the application process. During their underwriting, they mentioned that their wife noted they'd been snoring a bit more than usual. So the insurer asked them to go and get a sleep test. The sleep test came back, so they weren't willing to offer any cover until that sleep test was done. They went and did the sleep test, and in that sleep test it noted there was a mild heart arrhythmia. So then the insurer said, okay, we're going to put on a 50% loading until you go and have that mild heart arrhythmia investigated. This client, absolute gem, went and got that test done as well.
Yeah.
Came back, sent the report off to the insurer, and they've come back and said, we don't want to offer cover until we understand why that test was completed in the first place. Yeah, correct. That was...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason.
It's the same underwriter?
I haven't checked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping it just changed over to different people throughout the process, because that's concerning. But they have very good notes.
Yeah,
so
it depends on the insurance company. Some insurance companies have very, very bad systems internally. Yes. Feels like they've run their business on pen and paper sometimes. But
so anyway, naturally we called them up and said, what is going on? They've gone and gotten this heart test purely because we're looking at a 50% loading. Fix it up. So yeah, by us getting
Do
on
we
the
have
phone.
the outcome yet?
Yeah, so they had got cover, no loading.
Ah, perfect. How good.
Perfect outcome,
Yeah.
just a very strange way to get there.
Also, can the wife mention it after the insurance is in place?
Very unfortunate
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah. But good. Hey, it's good that we're being proactive
Exactly.
about health.
And
Sleep
now this
apnea is
client's
a
gone
thing.
and had all their tests
Yeah.
done, and hopefully maybe they're snoring less and the wife is sleeping better too.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate. My dad is a horrendous snorer, always has been, and I don't snore. I don't know why I got lucky, but Katie's very thankful that I don't snore at all. So,
Yep.
and
good.
and I'll say that in my insurance application.
My
right.
wife is happy I don't snore.
Yes, exactly.
What's your client story?
My client story, so good and bad. So claims always, that's where I get involved a lot is claims. So we had a client who this morning I got an email from our claims team that we got a successful TBD payment paid out. So great news that we've gotten a successful TBD payment paid out. So I went back and had a look at the notes and this client was really interesting, came and reached out at the start of the year, had gone to the insurance company directly and paused their premiums because of cash flow concerns.
Yeah.
Call once that was wearing off, because that's 6 months that was wearing off, emailed us and said, hey, looking to cancel the cover.
Wow.
And our process to cancel cover is always to book in a phone call with an advisor because it's really important, just so clients are fully aware. It's not to try and put any roadblocks in the way. It's more...
No, it definitely come across like that, doesn't it?
it can feel like that, but it's more just to fully, understand, for the client to understand what's going on. This client's telling me, we can't afford the premiums anymore, haven't been working for a number of years. And I was like, oh, okay, why haven't you been working? I had a car accident. I was like, okay, tell me more about it. And asked, and this client said, I had been told that I couldn't claim on TAC and this insurance at the same time. Now, that didn't come from us, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it came from TAC or if they called up the insurance company directly. And it's partially true. You can't get income from TAC and income protection, like there is offsets. But,
Let the insurer decide that.
yeah, let's submit an application and go through the process. So we went through the process and it takes time, but this client hadn't been working since 2022.
Wow.
And so...
And not knowing that they had this cover that they could have...
Yeah, well,
had to
being
support them.
told from someone that I can't claim on both. And so income protection, there is offset. So there may be some money, small amount of money over the last few years, but TBD claim is getting paid out. So, the TBD amount will be backdated from the date of disability, but, obviously not good outcome for the client to have a car accident, but it's great that, it's life-changing money.
Yeah, something they've been living with for the last 3 years anyway. So.
Yeah. And I went back and had a look at the original recommendation and what the client had. This client had TBD with Australian Super for $53,000. And as a part of our advice, and we were referred to one of our major referral partners, and we set up a policy, an income protection policy and disability policy for $1.5 million.
Yeah, wow.
And so, how many times have you had client phone calls where they're like, oh, I've got cover in my super fund and I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Australian Super, young person with $53,000 worth of cover for TBD if you can never work again. And so it's just like, it's a great reminder of why we do what we do. And, this, we've talked about it before in past episodes, like this balance between making sure we're giving clients informed consent, letting them be adults, make a decision that's good for them, but then also knowing that, well, we help people make these claims. This thinking that 53 grand in Australian Super is fine because it's cheap, the premiums. And these premiums that we set up weren't cheap. Like they were, I think we recommended $5,000, but then they made some changes to bring it back down to $3,500. So it's not insignificant money, but getting paid out $1.5 million worth of TBD payment plus income protection, if it, TAC stops and it'll get paid out until age 65 is a massive, massive impact on this person's life. So not good that they're going through this situation, but it just reminds us why we're doing what we're doing.
And also just a reminder to people who may be listening, if they do experience something that they think, oh, could this be a claimable event? reach out to the advisor that set up the policy, because they're probably in the best position to help advise you on what could be the next steps.
Oh, and exactly to that point, like if the client hadn't gone through an advisor and just set up their policy directly with the insurance company, they would have put the freeze in. They would have then cancelled directly with the insurance provider. Or even if the client said, oh, actually, I don't want to have that phone call. You're just going to try and convince me to keep the policy. And just went and cancelled it themselves. Well, if they aren't aware, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so, only after having a discussion going, well, this sounds like a claim. And so let's go through the process. And so if they cancel their policy and then never went through a claim, like they wouldn't have $1.5 million. And so again, another reason why working with an advisor is so incredibly important.
Yeah, definitely. Let's change tune and go to Baking Corner.
All right, now it's time for Ash's Baking Corner and my favourite segment where you get to listen to the theme song.
Skye team's ready, forks in hand. Ash's Baking takes the stand.
Zach, our intern, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, you know the rules. You've got to give us a rating out of 10.
Yeah.
And don't be kind because she's sitting next to you and she can give you a bit of an elbow. Give us the honest truth. Now, these are full of cheese. No, just kidding. No cheese. What have we got, Ash?
This week we have cardamom buns. So, don't know if you've had cardamom before, but you're about to find out if you like it or not.
Oh, they're sticky and they look good.
Awesome.
Now, my question. Now, I wish I looked at the thing closely before I picked mine because I would have picked the biggest one. Go, Ash. You want to have one now or not? All right. Give it a taste.
Together or what?
And then you eat whenever you feel led. So what is it, Ash? Cardamom bun.
Yeah.
What's that?
Cardamon's a spice.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Basically, the difference between these and cinnamon buns is that the filling is with cardamom instead of cinnamon. And then there's a cardamom sugar sprinkled on top.
What does cardamom go in normally?
It's quite commonly used in Scandinavia in their baked goods.
Of course.
So the bun base of this has cardamom in it. If I were to make cinnamon buns, they would have cardamom in them as well still. It's just that filling that's the difference. And then there's a few Indian curries that I make that have cardamom. I've talked to Neha about this too.
That's how I know it. Cardamom is being in curries. All right, Zach.
Very good. I've never heard of cardamom before, but it is very lovely. I would give it a very solid 8 out of 10, I think.
Nice.
I don't know if that, I've watched some and some people have been harsh over the few weeks, but I think this is very good. I'll give it a very strong 8.
I'm with you. I'm actually 8.5. I
Yeah.
could smash like 5 of these straight away.
I agree.
These are really good.
Very good.
And I thought I'd be disappointed they're not cinnamon because they have a different taste, but I reckon it means I can eat more quicker with the cardamom instead of cinnamon. Man, these are great. 8.5 from me.
I just want to provide a bit of a story with these because I've made the cinnamon bun version of these back in April before I got my stand mixer. Kneading by hand. Kneaded for an hour and still was not happy at all with the consistency of them. They're a lot denser than this. I had a friend yesterday who asked me, what do you mean dense? And I'm not going to try and explain that again. Couldn't work that one
No,
out.
they're light and fluffy.
These are
now.
light and fluffy in comparison.
I get you.
The rule for kneading by hand is whatever you do in a machine, you times it by 4. I had these in the machine for 25 minutes.
Oh,
no wonder I couldn't work it out.
But they're crispy on the bottom as well. Like the sugar's just been.
I might up it to a 9. These are actually awesome. Yeah.
So you went 8. I upped you by 8.5, and now you're raising.
Now it's your turn.
No, you're raising. No, it's not 9.5. That'd be silly. It's an 8.5.
No, these are awesome. Yeah.
But they're very good. This is probably my favourite so far, Ash.
Thank you.
Lucky me.
All right. Hey, well done. Great week. All right. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Lovely. Thanks.
Ash's Baking takes the stand.
What's coming up this week? And I've just taken another bun. So you can talk to us about what's coming up this week while I eat these.
Enjoy. I did have 2 yesterday. They were so good. So this week, a few people are off to NEOS. Lee Orton, our BDM, has started coordinating a next wave of PY opportunities to network and learn some things. They had the last one a couple of months ago, and this month they're going to be talking about underwriting. So not just the medical side of things, they're going to be talking about the financial underwriting too. I think we got Seb, Sam, Izzy, Ruby, our associates. They're all headed off to go.
Half the room's going to be Skye.
Yeah, exactly.
How good.
That's so funny you said that. There's also a little group on LinkedIn of PYs sort of thing that we have going, catching up for dinner outside of work. So we can talk about work or non-work, whatever we like. The dinner we had last week was half Skye.
My phone mustn't be working. I didn't get
Are
the
you
invite.
a new starter?
Well, hey.
Are you a professional yet?
I am. I feel youthful.
I appreciate that, but I'm sorry, Phil, this isn't for you.
Okay, no, fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't even want to go.
No, of course
I
not.
didn't even care.
You got anything else coming up this week?
Oh, yeah, I'm eating
just
more of
taking a
these, that's for
bite.
sure. These are so good. You know what?
Are you going to kick it up?
No, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go 9. That's psychopath territory. I'm going to go 8.75 for sure. 8.75. That's the highest I've ever given.
What would a 9 be if that's psychopath behaviour?
Oh, it's got to be great.
Interesting.
So I actually having a dinner with Neos this
cool.
week. Although I just double checked today because I didn't actually get any official invite.
Look, Neos aren't the best at getting calendar
Okay,
invites
good.
because we had this situation last time they ran the workshop. Don't
Great.
take it personally.
Cool. Yeah, I was like, I did get an invite, but it's not locked in. But meeting the big dogs at Neos, so I don't know, going out for dinner on Wednesday. But we've got some content coming out. What content do we have coming out this week?
So we got Skye Simplifies. Is that with you talking about step versus level premiums?
Yep.
A deep dive with Trent. What do you guys do your deep dive on?
That's a brilliant question. Thank you.
We'll
for
find out
asking.
when it's
So-
released.
No one knows. Is Trent got one deep dive and then he had no preparation, thinking someone else is going to do all the
Yeah,
work
I
for
remember
him.
this.
And I'm like, mate, you got to do some work for
Yeah.
this.
You're
And
not
then-
that much of a big dog
Yeah.
yet.
And so then we did one on income protection changes several years ago. So there was big changes several years ago. So we just wanted to do a deep dive because we've got clients who have, actually one of Lenny's clients has agreed value. So we just wanted to do a deep dive on that, even internally, so our team know what these old policies are, and clients, when they look at pricing differences, want to know what these old policies actually mean and why it came about. So we did a deep dive on those income protection changes.
That'd be great. We also have another Skye Myths being released, talking about trauma insurance only paying out if you're on your deathbed. And Taz Talk is back.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Skye moments with Taz. See what costume and what colour her face will
chaos.
be for the week.
Yeah, what chaos.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you, Ashley. And thank you for these baked goods. Thank you for every week's baked goods.
But thank you especially.
I haven't told you, Potty, but my youngest, Harper, is going to do a baking corner.
Amazing.
So I said, school holidays, bake, will come in. But we did say to her, you've got to be brave enough to get an honest rating because just because it's the boss's daughter, you got to give her an
Just
honest
because
rating.
she's, what, 10?
Yeah, 10. Yeah, so you gotta be brave
Still
enough
gotta,
to-
Yeah.
If you want to put yourself out there, then, get honest feedback.
Look, I remember last time they made baked goods, there was a mishap with sugar or something. So get ready.
We'll see. Yeah, bit of pressure for you, Harper. But good luck.
How exciting.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you, Ash.
everything for this week. Thanks, Phil. Glad you enjoyed the baked goods. If you enjoyed this recording, there's going to be a list up on the screen so you can have a watch for a few more. Bye.